still the attraction is there. This is the spell of the Lord's material energy. Really, the only way to counter it is to become attached to Krishna. And Prabhupada, Bhaktivedanta Prabhupada's summary study of the 10th Canto has been made so readily available, so that persons who do have this addiction to men and women, if they read or hear about Krishna's Rasa Lila, they'll actually become purified, because it's possible to become attached to Krishna through lust, and that lust becomes purified. So Lord Chaitanya's movement is so merciful. It's for the most fallen. So this is the fallen condition. And this is who Lord Chaitanya's mercy is for. It's for the most fallen. He's patita pavana, and become purified. So all of these things, lust, greed, they seem like really bad things. Yeah, materially they are. They drag one into more and more involvement with the material energy, down, down, down. But when lust and greed are there for Krishna and Krishna's service, it's a whole different story. Become purified. Become in contact with the divine energy, the devotional energy. And lust and greed, they're different when they're in connection with the divine energy. They're not material anymore. Become purified. He said that the only one of these undesirable qualities, and you know the list, pride, greed, lust, that envy is really the only one that can't be purified. That's the only one that if you try to come in contact with the divine energy, the spiritual energy, with envy, there's only fall down. That one can't get through. That's the one that can't get through. Enviousness is the only one that can't get through. And that's the one that causes the offenses to the devotees, is that envy. So that one can't get through. But even lust and greed can get through. They can get purified. And when they do, they become a great motivating force for going to Krishna. But envy of the devotees doesn't get through. So he's continuing to loiter in the forest of material existence. So, Prabhupada's commentary, this is the way of material life. One is captured by sexual attraction. He becomes implicated in so many ways and cannot understand the real aim of life. Therefore, Srimad Bhagavatam says, Nate vidhu svatagatim hi Vishnu. Generally, people do not understand the goal of life. As stated in the Vedas, Om Tad Vishnu Paramam Padam Sada Pasyanti Suraya. Those who are spiritually advanced simply look to the lotus feet of Vishnu. The conditioned soul, however, not being interested in reviving his relationship with Vishnu, becomes captivated by material activities and remains in everlasting bondage, being misled by so-called leaders. Implicated in so many ways and cannot understand the real aim of life. That's why you have to get a higher taste. The higher taste of devotional, to get the mercy from the devotee and be able to taste it. And we just read a few verses back that the person who came very close to getting the mercy of the devotee, But the misfortune was, didn't get a taste. He had no taste. Maybe he had some envy there, or his desire for material enjoyment was too strong, so he couldn't take advantage. His misfortune, he couldn't take advantage. There's a little story I heard illustrates what misfortune is like. Lord Shiva and his consort Parvati were watching one man. He was a very, very poor beggar. And Parvati, she said, "Oh, Prabhu, give him something. He's so poor. Give him a little something. Go ahead, give him something." And Lord Shiva said, "He's so unfortunate. Even if I give him something, he won't be able to take advantage of it. Why give him anything? He's too unfortunate. He's misfortunate. He won't be able to take advantage." She says, "Oh, don't say that. Just give him something." So Lord Shiva, he slipped inside a watermelon, 200 rupees inside the watermelon, or some amount of money. He put some money in the watermelon and made arrangements for the beggar. "Oh, here, this is for you, sir. Nice watermelon. Something nice for you to eat. You're hungry. Here's watermelon." So the beggar got the watermelon, and he looked at it and he says, "What am I going to do with this watermelon? I don't want this watermelon." So he sold it for 2 pice. But there was 200 rupees inside the watermelon. He sold it for 2 pice. So that was Lord Shiva's illustration. He says, "You see, I told you." He gave him some good fortune, and he was not able to take advantage of it. So what that indicates, if we look at that story a little closer, is that there is a great treasure inside the devotional service. And we have to become fortunate to take advantage of it. There's a great treasure inside the scriptures. There's a great treasure inside the hearts of the devotees. There's a great treasure there, the Lord's representatives. And what is that treasure? The Lord Himself. The Lord Himself is there. So to be able to take advantage of that, we have to be able to accept what's being given and be fortunate to be able to unlock, open up the treasure inside. Just like we're being given the holy name, Mahamantra, Hare Krishna. So we're coming very close. We're chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. But there's a treasure inside the holy name. Krishna Himself is there. So we have to become fortunate to be able to access that treasure. Otherwise, there's a possibility of slipping back again. We see it happens. We take up the chanting, take up the devotional practice, but not fortunate to access the great treasure that's there inside. The Lord Himself. Who's surrounded by His devotional energies, His devotees. If we don't enter into that spirit of devotion, we simply look at the watermelon and say, "Oh, what am I going to do with this? I don't see. I got this watermelon. How is that? Let me trade it for something valuable. And we miss the great treasure that's inside." So we have to become fortunate like that, and become fortunate by the mercy of the devotees. That's why making offense is so devastating, because through them we can access the treasure of devotion, loving devotional spirit. So it's a great science, Bhakti Yoga. And we are all fortunate. To one degree or another, we're all fortunate, because whatever one does in this endeavor is never lost. So even if someone falls away, when they get the opportunity to pick it up again, the problem is you don't know when it's going to be. I mean, it just jumped out of the airplane, it's like 10,000 feet in the air. It's not so easy to get back in, but it's never lost whatever's done. So at some point, could be millions of lifetimes, but at some point can pick up where they left off. So we can have that confidence that it accumulates, like a little bank account that accumulates 1 penny, 1 penny, 1 penny. And it's there when we start in again. We don't want to get sidetracked though. Text 20. My dear King Rahugana, you are also a victim of the external energy, being situated on the path of attraction to material pleasure. So that you may become an equal friend to all living entities, I now advise you to give up your kingly position and the rod by which you punish criminals. Give up attraction to sense objects. Take up the sword of knowledge, sharpened by devotional service. Then you will be able to cut the hard knot of illusory energy and cross to the other side of the ocean of nescience. Oh my. I haven't read this in a while, and when I did read it, I don't think I noticed this. But he's asking him to become renounced, to give up his kingdom. He's not asking him to engage in varnashram dharma and perform his kingly duty. He's just telling him, give it all up. Oh my goodness. Whew. Let's see what happens. Prabhupada's commentary. In Bhagavad Gita, Lord Krishna compares the material world to a tree of illusion from which one must cut oneself free. And this is the translation of the other Bhagavatam verse. Oh, the Bhagavad Gita verse. The real form of this tree cannot be perceived in this world. No one can understand where it ends, where it begins, where its foundation is. But with determination, one must cut down this tree with the weapon of detachment. So doing, one must seek that place from which, having once gone, one never returns, and there surrender to that Supreme Personality of Godhead, from whom everything has begun, and whom everything is abiding since time immemorial. All right. Text 21. All right. Let's see what King Rahugana says to that instruction. I mean, think about it. Jad Bharat just said, if you can't follow the instructions of the saintly persons and the devotees, then you're going to be slipping back into sense gratification and become subject to diseases. You're going to be victimized by attachment to women. You're going to be trying to take instruction from vultures and cranes, or those that present themselves, but they're really pretenders, and they really can't deliver anyone, give any real knowledge. If you don't listen to the devotees and their instructions, in other words, if you don't listen to me, this is where you're going. This is your chance. This is your opportunity. If you don't take advantage of it, you're simply misfortunate. And what's he asking him to do? Give up everything and become renounced. So that was then. That's another age. This was a long time ago. Now, what's being asked? Chant Hare Krishna, take prasadam, hear the messages of Bhagavatam, associate with devotees, take instruction, perform some service. Not saying give up everything, although some people do, and that's there. But for all the rest of us, little Rahuganas, there are other instructions that are very basic that we can do. I think Lord Chaitanya's, most of his followers were householders. They had family, but they practicing Krishna consciousness, they're chanting and helping their family members as much as possible to become Krishna conscious. Like Bhaktivinoda Thakur, he had 2 wives, 13 children, and he was a government official on top of it all. And he's one of the greatest acharyas ever. Great, great, great realized devotee of the Lord, great servant of the Lord. His writings are totally revived the Sankirtan movement of Lord Chaitanya from all the misrepresentation and mismanagement of his Lord Chaitanya's Sankirtan movement in the 1800s.